Hey, buddy. Hey, I know what you're doing here. You want to learn how to type design. That's what I was thinking. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it my way, which is absolutely not the correct way. But you know what? Everything is always worth a first shot. Now, what I learned from my type of graphic OGs, my original gangsters, is that there are 4 important letters to make when you first start making your typeface. The capital O, the capital H, the capital N, the lowercase n, and the lowercase o. Now, this might look familiar to you, and it's because somebody named their own Type Foundry after it. Oh no, Typeco. James Edmondson. He is a hero in my book. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. We have to make these 4 letters first, because once we make these 4 letters, that defines the rest of our typeface. Alright? So I'm just gonna burst through this for you guys. Okay, bring that down a little bit. Our typeface shouldn't have that much contrast as this is learning. Alright, let's and now we have to set our side bearings. That's a pretty important part. You have to know the right amount of side bearings to put on your letter. This is a pretty easy way to figure this out. Does that look natural to you? Well, if it does, then good job, we did it. Okay, and now you're gonna determine now you're gonna determine the curvature of your letter O. For this tutorial, we're doing like a neo-grotesque, so like 58, 59 should be good. And now we make sure that that's in line with our with the proportions we set just a moment ago. Now we don't want it to be a perfect circle. Now there's kind of an art to getting your side bearings right. Normally, round letters like the letter O would have about half the space of a letter like H. So whereas H has side bearings that go to 70, a letter O would have side bearings that go to 35. Maybe just a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit more than that. Alright? And then now we can type some stupid stuff in like who. Like who. 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 Okay. And now to make the lowercase o, what we would do is we would bring this down a little bit, and then, a little trade secret that they don't teach you. The lowercase is actually a little bit thinner than the uppercase by about 3 to 5 units. But that can vary depending on like the weight and the girth or whatever typeface you're making. For this font, I'll do about 5 units of difference. So now I'm going to place this in, and we're going to bring it down a bit, change it down by about 5 units, and then I'm also going to try and answer any questions that chat has. By the way, what kind of questions we got going on here? Alright, well, this is how I would make the letter N. We have two spawning sticks out here. So we're gonna oh my. Oh no, that was not supposed to happen. By the way, I'm aware I'm using FontLab 8 and not Glyphs. I'm really praying that my dad will let me get a MacBook or like a Mac Studio or whatever, so that I can finally ditch FontLab and get Glyphs. But for now, I'm stuck with stinky old FontLab. I mean, like, for a font editor, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But the fact that, like, freaking HiLogic's Font Creator can accept and export, like, more output correctly than FontLab is honestly baffling to me. Like, bro, you're getting beaten by HiLogic's Font Creator. How are you this behind? Like, actually. Alright. And now you have to make some adjustments. Now, something you might notice in a lot of modern fonts today. Oh, yeah, you gotta make sure about this, too. For an arc to flow smoothly, it has to go, you have to have this point here and this point here. You gotta have it be a little bit asymmetrical. Now, a feature in a lot of modern typefaces nowadays is that they'll basically have this. Alright, so we'll merge these together, do a little bit more adjusting, and get this right where we want it. There's a little something I want to show you guys. So a lot of typefaces have this feature nowadays. They're called ink traps. And basically, back in the days of old printing, ink traps would like keep fonts from getting too muddy if because they were being pressed on like ink and paper, so that would cause some problems. So we're gonna have some so in this font to like commemorate them, we're gonna have some little 10-point ink traps. Gotta have that good-natured font. Every good-natured font creator should know how to add ink traps to their typeface. You know what? Let's make it 5 units. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Okay, so another thing about side bearings. You have to also compensate a little bit for the fact that this font will have some characters with arched edges. So this side will be 65, while this side will stay 70. So congratulations! By creating the letters "Oh no," we've essentially set up what the rest of our typeface is going to look like. Alright? Let's start by knocking out some of the more easy to make capital letters. When I start doing capital letters, I want to tackle the straight ones first. So I'd be thinking E-F-I-L-T. Those are the letters I can immediately knock out. Just get them out of the way. Do them quickly. So I'm gonna do that. Gonna keep in mind that depending on the type of font we're gonna make, you might have the E be shorter or longer. Since this isn't gonna be a typical neo-grotesque, which is what all type designers should probably try making for their first time, we're gonna keep the proportions like that then. So then you would copy this and then bring it over to F, and then you'd actually have this be a little bit closer to the edge because of the fact that you now have a lot of empty space at the bottom. Oh yeah, also you gotta move this crossbar down a little bit when you're doing F. Okay, and then you're going to put in the I. You're going to set the side bearings to be like that. And then you're going to go back to the F. And then you're going to grab this, flip it upside down, get rid of the middle bar. And congratulations, you've got an L. And, space that accordingly. And then you're going to take a copy of this. Going to put that there. And you're going to set your side bearings accordingly. And da-da-da. You got a letter T. You know what you can finally spell with this? You can finally spell filet o fi. No S yet. An S is really hard, so I'm going to be saving that for later. You can have a filet o fifth. Filet o filth. Actually, you know what? If it just mirrors this T a little bit too wide, let's fix that. Yeah, that's more appropriate. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, wait a minute. This ain't right. The L and T should be closer to each other. Well, that's an easy thing to fix. This is kerning. Oh, there you go, you handsome little devil. Now you're looking proper next to that L. But kerning is really more of a thing you do after you're done setting up the basics of a font. So, alright, now for the rounder letters. The next thing I'd want to tackle and get done while we're up here is the letter Q. So what I would do for that is I would do this. Gonna do a letter Q. First letter of my real name is a Q. And gotta get that looking mighty fine. You have to keep in mind when you slant when you slant the stroke like that, it's gonna lose some of its width. It's gonna lose some of its stroke weight. So you have to be sure to adjust to that. And there you go. You got a fancy little Q. Call him daddy. I don't know. Okay, so how much have we done so far? Well, it's been the first couple of minutes, and we've already knocked out E, F, H, I, L, O, Q, and T in the uppercase, and N and O in the lowercase. So essentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 26 letters. 8 out of 26 letters. Do you know what that means? You're already a third of the way there. Alright, next up is the letter C. Since we're doing the Helvet... Alright, chat, I'm going to let you decide. How should I cut this O into a C? Should I cut it like this? Or should I cut it like this? Your choice. First one or second one? How do you set up the font if it's a logo font? That's a pretty good question. So basically what you would do is I guess you'd take the typography from the logo as an SVG and put it in there. And then, you would assign each one to each letter. And then using, the SVG letters, you'd try and base the rest of the font off of it. Alright, we got one vote for the first option. Option B looked cool. We have 2 votes for the second option, so I think we're going to go with that. Alright. Say hello to those handsome letter C. Alright. And now, what we're going to do to make the letter G is we're going to take an O again. And I'm going to take this again. And then I'm going to cut this O in half. And then make it half a circle. And I'm going to take this C. And I'm going to cut this C in half. You know, and then I'm going to move it to the side so I don't interrupt the other parts of the circle. And then I'm going to skip-it-a-bop, dada, and diddle-a-doo. And then we're going to Frankenstein this C, this top of the C, and the bottom of this O together. And then we got a shape like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put in a letter G. And oh god, it's Century Gothic! I don't want this anymore! Get it out! Nope, nope, nope. That looked too much like Century Gothic. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this up a bit. And make it go like that. Or you know what? You know what? Let's do this the Helvetica way. So I'm gonna put a new rectangle here, and then I'm gonna make this go back, and pull it in a little bit closer. Now you might notice I have Power Nudge on in FontLab, which is how like my curve moves smoothly. So if you don't have that on, you might be a little bit confused. So I suggest turning that on. Now, if you remember what I said earlier, we have to make sure to work ink traps into this. So, let's do that real quick. Place in your point, and then move it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you got a fancy little ink trap on your letter G. All right, and give that boy a bar to feast on. I also saw Sin said that the kerning between L and T looked a little bit too tight, so let's fix that up real quick. Oh, you know what else we should probably fix up? We should probably fix up this. This needs to be brought in like a lot. Jeez Louise, is this font really this outspaced? Cool. We could almost spell Glizzy if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. I feel like I should move this a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we now have letter C. All right, this is a bit of an interesting part. Well, okay, so we're gonna take these, move them back to the bottom, and then I'm gonna take out that knife tool, holding Control and Shift, slice right down, and then I'm gonna erase the handles on each sides, and then I'm gonna turn off Power Nudge so that I can move these safely. If that goes over the edge, you need to pay attention. If that goes over the cap height, that's gonna leave you with that's gonna annoy you to death if you don't fix that immediately. So get these down to where they're supposed to be. Make sure that there's nothing that's like at a vertical height of something more than 0, because that's not how it should be. All right, and then we're gonna go back over to the letter I. Snag ourselves one of these. Snag ourselves a vertical stroke. Set our side bearings accordingly. And congratulations, you got a big fat letter D. Yes, and I do indeed dig it. Alright, now that we have the letter D, we can knock out 3 more letters. First off, easiest one to do, the letter P. You got to make sure hold Shift Alt while you and Alt while you move that, and then set that to where you want it to be. Maybe make the side bearings a little bit more closer. And now, with your finished P, you can type out I peed, which is good for you, but you probably shouldn't do that. All right, next up, we're going to show you how to make a letter R. So I'm going to take this stroke from the letter Q. I'm going to force it right in there. I'm gonna move up the U-shaped part up a little bit, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of reformatting, make this look the way I want. And you know what? I think that's fine how it is. Congratulations, it's an R. And last one I'm gonna knock out on letter B. All right, so then I'm gonna take this, gonna make it duplicate, put this at the bottom here. And then I'm gonna show you how we do this. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. And I'm going to move this up a little bit. And then I'll move this back. And you're going to notice something. Hey, wait a second. This don't look fancy. This is not a fancy B. Well, that's an easy problem to fix. You gotta get that optical compensation up in here. Something I learned is that you don't want to overdo it. This looks fine, but you know what? I think we need to have the bottom half of the B be a little bit more prominent. So I'm gonna make that quick adjustment, and then, you know, and then maybe move that down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. All right, and as always, we got to make sure to get in our goal. Wait, hold up a second. 110, 100. All right, we good. Okay, so how many letters we got down now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We are now just about 2/3 done with the uppercase. Isn't this cool? This is really cool. All right. So for this next part, I'm going to take this O, make it a little bit smaller. You'll see why in a second. And then I'm going to chop it in half again, cut off the top, and then do this, and get rid of all that mess, and then... Oh crap, I just realized I forgot to do something, but I'll go back. I'll go back and fix it when I'm done with this letter U. So you move it like that. We now have the letter U. We're going to use the same spacing philosophy we used for the letter N and make it look like that. But does this U look too wide? Well, that's an easy thing to find out. Type out some letters and see how it works. Okay, well, yeah, this U is definitely a little bit too wide, so I'm going to shift it over a little bit. Shift Alt down, and then... And there you go. Now, to fix this letter B, because I did something wrong. I forgot that we were doing the ink trap thing, so I'm going to show y'all how to do that again. Gotta get yo... This should be, yep, that's exactly 5. And then there we go. We got a little ink trap. Looking nice and fine. Alright, well, one last thing involving the letter U. I'm gonna chop off gonna chop off the top half, and then I'm gonna get this out because, you know, in the Puzz house we roll with J's with hats. And then there you go. You got yourself a fancy little J. Just so you know, his hat is completely optional. You can get rid of this, but I'm going to keep it on because he looks awesome. Alright, and now we're going to get into an interesting part. This is the part where it gets kind of weird and goofy. This is the part where I have to start working with diagonals. Okay, so we're going to take this letter H. I'm going to put it in here. Going to shift this over. Make sure it is of the weight of the rest, and then move it over, add in its brother, flip it over, and then move this down. Move these closer together because it looks kind of goofy right now. Now you see something weird here, folks. I don't think that this A looks quite right. Yeah, it's a little bit too thick. Well, y'all know how to fix that, right? This is pretty simple. Count to 5 with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The A looks slightly better now. But I see the real problem. It's a little bit too wide. Ding dong. Ding dong. That looks a little bit more sustainable, but we should probably also test it out with other letters to see how it looks. Batter up. Oh, you see what else is wrong here? This crossbar is a little bit too high up. There we go. And to make the V, what I would do is I would just take this letter A, put it in there, flip it upside down, get rid of that pesky crossbar, and you got a letter V. Congratulations! Now I know what you're thinking to yourself. Oh man, this spacing is god-awful. Well, don't worry. Kerning to the rescue once again. And now we can say batter up. He shoots, he scores. Alright, next up, in terms of letters like this, we would do the letter K. Now this is supposed to be a neo-grotesque, so I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the leg from the letter R, put it in here, move it over a little bit, and then now that I have a duplicate, I'm gonna reselect it because the flip vertical disappeared for some reason, and then I'm gonna move it up top. Then I'm gonna drag this down, and then we're gonna see what the weight. We're gonna check on the weight in a second. And then, better bring that closer in, bring that a little bit in closer. And then, what this reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Michael Kors. Although, we're not making a font like Michael Kors. I don't like what they did. They have the S with the diagonal terminals, but they didn't have the C with the horizontal terminals. What the... Oh, you want me to type out jet? Alright, well... Okay, next up we're going to do a letter M. What I'd probably do for this is I'm going to take the letter V, paste it in there, grab an I and then for vertical strokes, and then bing, 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 bing. We've gotten ourselves into a pickle. How do we make this look good? Well, that's a pretty easy thing to answer. What you got to do is well, let's get rid of this right side. We don't need this right now. The M's going to be symmetrical. So we're going to bring this down, I'm going to pull this over here. And then gonna do the same thing to the bottom. We're gonna have like this is essentially a hexagon now. Why do we do this? Because we have to do this. Yoinky sploinky. You got yourself the letter M. So, you got yourself the letter M. Congratulations. Now, we can easily make this letter M into a letter W with this one simple trick. Take this half of your M, and then you go over to the letter W, you put it in there, you flip it upside down, and then you do some of this, and you do some of that, and then sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Your M, it looks a little bit too thick, so we're going to bring these over. And voila, you got a nice fancy looking M. Who's pinging me while I'm on stream? That's a good question. Let's find out. Oh. Okay, I got it. Alright. Congratulations. This is nice. You got an M and his brother W, and they're both in the font now. We are almost done with the uppercase. We only got 5 more letters to go, so let's run through them. Alright. So, first off, I'm gonna get the last few problem letters out the way. So I'm gonna bring this in, and then I'm gonna grab them by the feet, pull them out, and then put them in the center. Pull on them some more. Make them a little bit fatter, and then I gotta make sure the spacing's nice and tight. Nice and cozy spacing, because this font is more of a text font than anything. And then we're going to copy and paste what I did for the letter X, put it in here, and then I'm gonna do something weird. I'm gonna cut off the bottom half. And I'm gonna run over to the letter I for the last time, I think. Smack it in there, put it in the middle, and then bring it down. Oh, no, that was not supposed to happen. Bring it down, and then pull it down. Oh, no. And then pull it down. Pull it down until it's in the right spot, and there you go. Beautiful little WXY. There you go. The buddies. They're the buddies. They're all buddies. Look at them. Alright, and the last letter in this silly little section, I'm going to call the last few, it's the letter Z. So what we're going to do for the letter Z, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to pull this over here, but then I'm going to lift this part of it up, and then I'm going to go like this, check see if it's like the same weight, and it is. So I'm gonna extend it out a little bit, and then have each side be 40. And then we got a VWXYZ, the little finishers. I don't know why I put off the end for this long, but let's just get it over with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. Yoink yoink, yoink yoink, sploink, sploink. Don't look right still? That's easy to fix. Come on, buddy. Get a little bit thicker. You gotta be a little bit thicker than that if you want to be a good end. Yeah, there we go. Wait, down one. Wait, no, now go up one. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. And now we've come off to the part I've been putting off for a while. We now have to make the dreaded letter S. The awful, horrendous, dreaded letter S. This is what I would do for this part, I guess. We're gonna pull this in a little bit, and then I'm gonna disconnect these two. Disconnect them from each other, separate them, and I'm gonna split you like that, and then I'm gonna make a new rectangle that lines up with the bottom, and then I'm gonna drag you over here. And then merge, and then you're gonna do this. Gotta alt click the strokes. That's what I just did there. Alt click the strokes. Alt click like the alt click the way the lines join. That's what I meant to say. I don't know. I'm speaking nonsense because I freaking hate the letter S with all my heart. It is such a horrible letter of the English alphabet. It's so unreal. Like, dude, your job could literally be replaced just like that. Yet you have to be one of the hardest letters of the alphabet to draw. You just had to be one of the hardest letters of the alphabet for us type designers to suffer through. Dear God, I freaking hate this letter with like all my heart. I really wish that I could just skip this freaking letter every single time I make a font. I know that like it's not really this big of a deal. The real big of a deal would come later when I have to make numbers, because numbers also kind of suck. But like, dude, I freaking hate the letter S so much. So freaking much. God, I could just go on about my pure, like, hatred for the letter S. It is so unreal how much I wish I could just skip this part in the font making process. I hate the letter S. God, I despise it. I despise it. Are you paying attention? I really hope you're paying attention, because this part is hard. You will suffer from this, everybody who's watching the stream. You will actually suffer and probably kneel over and die if you try doing this without help on the first time. And you gotta remember to keep it balanced and composed. God, such a horrible letter. But does it fit in with the rest? No, it does not. No, you need to be a little bit more trim. Yeah, there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the uppercase alphabet. It was a little bit of a mess, but we did it. Oh God, that letter K is so out of place. I hate it. Exterminate. Exterminate. Yeah, that's better. Well, you know what I should do? You know what? This feels kind of out of place, so I'm going to fix that. Yeah. Congratulations. We are looking good. We are looking quite good. And now for the kind of hard part. We have to do the lowercase now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a lot of these lowercase letters. So N becomes H, which is good. Is it just me or does it look a little bit high to you? Oh no. Oh no, indeed. But you know what? We can live with it. It's fine. It's fine. Oh no, you see what's wrong? I got the contrast wrong. On the B. Come on, you're supposed to be sharper than that. Yeah, like that. Maybe not that sharp. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, and then N can also become R, which we can do it like this. Chop. And then adjust accordingly, because we don't want we don't like letters that bite here. Letters with sharp fangs. Looking fine and gorgeous. And now for the letter M, most people would think, oh, so you just take the letter N and you copy it over twice. No, actually, you have to kind of condense it a little bit. So that way it looks optically correct. And then you paste it over twice. Don't forget about our little ink trap, buddy. And the last letter we can make with what we already have to work with, the letter U. Which can be made by doing this. And then moving it over. And now I can show you how to make one of these letters, the letter B. We'll make the letter B. So I'm going to erase the N part of this letter H, so we're left with a vertical stroke. And then I'm going to go get the O, and then I'm going to put them together, make the contrast a little bit noticeable. And then you got a mighty fine letter B there. But I'm also going to do this. We're going to move this counter back about 5 steps. And then do this, condense a little bit, and then I'm going to get... And then we're going to do the ink traps again. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then select them both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you think we need to move them down? Oh yeah, we do definitely need to move them down. Looking sharp. Looking sharp there, buddy. You're going to be a great typeface. So then you duplicate this over. And then, you're just going to repeat the process for the P and the Q. Now, if we were making like a serif font, we would not be doing this. This would be cheating. Because serif fonts work differently, but I want to go easy on you guys. And I don't even know how to make serif fonts, so that's that. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, for the letter A, we're going to cheap out the easy way, and we're going to do it like this, huh? No, we're not going to do it like that, actually. Let's go get our letter N from earlier, and we're going to put it in here. And I'm going to show you guys how to do an N the proper way. I mean, the letter A the proper way. So... I'm gonna get this out, and then I'm gonna make this look right compared to what the rest of our font looks like so far. And then I'm gonna bring this up. Want to get this very up high because the letter A needs a lot of room to breathe. And we're gonna do this. I'm gonna do this with the with Font Lab's quick drawing tool. I forgot what this is called. Like the rapid brush or something. I forgot. Oh no! It appears the rapid brush went in the wrong direction. Whatever shall I do? Well, we're gonna select the whole contour, and I'm gonna do reverse contour. And then while I still have it selected, we're gonna do genius points, which will make this process a lot easier. And I'm gonna merge them together so I can do this. Smooth, genius, and then voila, we have a smooth flowing curve. And we also got to do the ink trap thing, if you remember correctly. Yoinky splanky. Shibbity boobity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yoinkity splankity. Dingity doo da. La foobity boobity boo. La shankity bangity bang. The whip, the jit'll the bit'll you, the whip a snapper, clip a flop a flibble. Do you notice anything wrong with this letter A? I noticed quite a few things wrong with this letter A. Let's address them. First off, unless we're trying to do a stylistic thing with this font, this part should definitely not be looking like this. Not at all. Now this kind of reminds me of Canva's brand font because of the way it looks. I've definitely learned a lot since the old days, back when I didn't have my friends like Lyric and who else makes fonts in that place? Oh, well, they got sussed anyways, so they're not really important. Well, there's not really anybody else in the Lyric verse who makes like good fonts at all, actually, that I can remember. But I feel like I'd be rude if I didn't remember, so I really hope somebody can jog my memory. This letter A looks awfully familiar, actually. Kind of looks like my old brand font's A, but actually, like, good. And then, for a little bit of neo-grotesque flair, I'm going to do this. Yoink, sploink. It's so subtle, but it's also so beautiful. You know what? I think I made this a little bit too narrow compared to the letter N. Alright. Let's try typing out some other letters in this now. Canon Blast. Still looks a little bit too narrow in my opinion. Let's give it one last little width boost. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Good for us. You know what this font is starting to remind me of? It's starting to remind me of like NBC's brand font, which is not good. I don't like theirs. This is what it looks like spaced in a little bit, and I gotta say, yeah, that needs to be a little bit closer. Yeah, there we go. Maybe space this in a little bit closer too. Yeah. You look nice. Looking nice. So how much of this part of the font have we done? Oh my god. I'm starting to get really tired, guys. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it through the rest of this font. I'm just about ready to fall asleep, dude. Oh my god! And the freaking like, I know I'm literally on dark mode, and I feel like I'm being blinded by my screen right now. Dear God, this is graining. Kids, I don't care what you say. Never get into type design. It is a grueling job. You will not enjoy it. You'll probably hate it just as much as I do. But but it's kind of what I have to do. Otherwise, I feel like I'd be useless to these guys. Because the only other thing I do is draw furries for money, and I haven't even been able to get any commissions recently. So, that's something. And I literally only have like $12 in my Cash App. Dude, I swear to God, I don't think I can wait until my birthday, and then because that's still like 2 months away. No, like it's only like a month away actually, but still, it's gonna take a while. Anyways, what kind of dots should we do? Should we do square dots or should we do round dots? Or doing round dots. I don't want to make you guys I don't want to force you guys to do square dots. Square dots are hard. And you know what? I don't care. We're gonna do it weird because I'm weird like that. And then we're gonna do this for the letter T because I'm also weird like that. But you know what? You know what? A letter T doesn't really look right without its little brother. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I accidentally merged in the Bofias. I don't really want to merge in these two. Okay, I have to turn off preview mode. It is starting to burn my retinas in. This is a fun feature. I love smart corners. Yeah, there we go. There's the letter T. What an adorable little letter T. And you know what we can do? We can take this letter T and turn it into a letter F. How cool is that? We can recycle the letters we're using to make other letters. So cool. And then I can take back what I said about not making a proper letter J and make a proper letter J. Now get your stinky butt out of here. And now we can do the same thing for this letter G. Well, I'm going to take a letter Q and I'm going to stick this appendage to it because I'm too lazy to do a curve to G. That's right, motherfrickers, we're doing this BioTIFF style and I don't give a shit. Go down a bit. Alright, now another thing you gotta know about the letter G. You actually have to move this up a little bit. And then condense it in. And then go like this. And I don't know, maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger because it's got more room to breathe. It's like that other font that's really overused. What's it called? I think it was called like Robert or something. Rubert? Oh yeah, it was called Rubert. Well, that's how you do a very modern letter G. And as for the letter K, I'm gonna go into the uppercase letter K, copy it, paste it in, select all the left edges, go back by 5 units, and then drag these down to about there. And then dismember them. That's actually what we're going to be doing for like the last couple of letters here, since we're almost done. Oh, god damn it, what is it now? Some guy just DM'd me saying that they apparently know where somebody in the stream lives because they know I'm live right now, which makes zero sense because why would you want to know where somebody lives? You have Discord. That's how you can talk. That's how you communicate with them essentially. Doxing is stupid. Now, there's a common misconception about doxing. People often say that doxing is illegal. Sharing like somebody's address isn't the illegal part. Like hacking in and like getting that information and for like getting like stealing that like information itself, that's the illegal part. But this is a type design stream, so I just want to finish this up, get this over with. You know, I'm probably gonna crash and burn. I've been streaming for 45 minutes. Oh my god, I really can make alphabets really quickly. Oh my god, I am dude. How am I gonna tell my friends I put together an alphabet in 45 minutes? Oh my god. Oh, it was Willy Wonka Studios. Ah. Dude, I'm literally putting together like a whole alphabet in freaking dude, I should not be able to do this quickly. This feels illegal. Wait a minute. Oh no, they're merged together now, aren't they? Oh, never mind. That only happens when it's with the letter W. So you have to make sure to merge, like unattach them when you do with the letter W. Oh, and don't forget, gotta go back by 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the only letter that won't apply to this would be the letter Y. So what I'm gonna do for that is I'm gonna take this, and then I'm gonna take the leg of the letter J, and I'm we're gonna line them up. Oh, that's not right. You know what I'm gonna do after this? I'm gonna like get in my bed and I'm gonna watch VeggieTales because I really have nothing better to do with my time right now. I'm not even that religious. I just think VeggieTales is funny. This is a whole episode where they just predicted modern internet humor. Some crazy stuff. Like, dude, it was like freaking spot on. Weed eater. Like, that's the scary part. Like, dude, they should not be able to make such good predictions. It's a freaking Christian kids show. Alright, you know what I'm gonna do for this one? I'm gonna, instead of chopping this one, I'm gonna move that part down. Oh, almost forgot. Gotta do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that just about finishes it up. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It took me only 45 minutes, but it took me about 50 minutes, but I made an alphabet. a pretty decent alphabet to show off to you guys, to show you how to make your own typeface. I did it. I made an alphabet on stream, and now you guys can learn my important ways and make your own typefaces. For a first shot, this was pretty nice. I spilled spot remover on my dog. Now he's gone. Okay, we are done. We are done. We did it. The G reminds me of L time next. Yeah, I kind of noticed it kind of looks like that. Well, I hope this tutorial helps some people, and I hope that someday some people in the logo community might just end up becoming type designers like me. Then we can have fun conversations, and you know what? Tune in next time, and I will show... Oh, what's the software? Oh my god! I did a whole stream, and I didn't even tell anybody what software I was using. This is FontLab 8. This is FontLab 8 that I've been using this whole time. I put together a font in FontLab 8. Let's type that up. FontLab 8. Because I didn't make any numbers yet. FontLab 8. Alright, well, let's shut down the stream. I'm tired. I'm going to go watch my VHS tape.